Righto, another day. Ready, that fucking aircon has been on for ages. My son turned it on and it's just barely blowing warm air. We're at our coldest day on record here today. Minus 5.4. It's the coldest it's ever been here. And it's still like a fucking icebox out here, but I've got shit to do in town today, so I thought I'll come out and do as much as I can. I'm not going to assemble this today. I came out and painted it yesterday. I didn't record that because I thought, fuck, you've seen painting. But I'm not going to touch anything until tomorrow. It does feel quite hard, but all I'm going to do today is I'm going to sand the silver bits and then dress the holes. I was fiddling with it yesterday. Use that, just nice and slow, and it leaves a nice finish. Doesn't chatter. So I'm going to sand it all today. Sand down the front. That bit there is going to worry me, but I'm thinking I might even, because it's flat all the way across there. You can just barely see the division there. I'll see what I can do with it anyway. I mean, worst case scenario is repaint it. I taped over that. So the red paint wouldn't get in it. So you shouldn't see that so much with the thing over it, but I'm thinking I have got chrome spray there. Not that I'm going to paint the thing, but I'm going to spray it just as a little paintbrush and just dab it in there so that it hides it a bit more, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'll put you up somewhere while I start doing this and see if I can do it without fucking it. Let's have a go. Oh, I feel warm air coming from somewhere. Must be the air conditioner. Finally. Looking for somewhere that is light. There we go. You can probably see a little bit more now. Oh god, this is hard. Oh well. It's no real big deal. I can use those ones when I sand just normal steel. too bad because I've got most of the shit off. Might get that was 80 grit. Might go over with 100 now. I'll just bring a couple of whiskey. My fingers are numb. There's that fucking cold in here. This air conditioner, that's just about as useful as a fucking screen door on a submarine. Right, let's see how we go. When I finish, I'm going to have to just mask there and just touch, just a slight touch up there with the paint, which I want to do later on. Oh, you motherfucker. See, that's what I'm worried about. See that? So we did that around here somewhere. That's when it fucks the paint. I have no other way really of sanding it off unless I use a bit of fine emery, which I don't have, and a flat file, and which I still might do yet. Give me fucking time to sort out. That's coming up nice. I might give that a hit now with some 240s. I'm kind of getting the hang of this talking to the camera thing, so probably why now I start to waffle on too fucking much. But sometimes it's easier to talk through it because that way I'm designing it in my head as I go. get you off here for a second. Come on, fucker, show me the back of the fucking screen, thank you. That's still got to be cleaned up a bit, but I think I'm gonna do that by hand. Let's come up all right. Again, I'm thinking I might call in and get some wet and dry, but use it dry, not wet. And just get something, say 600, and a sanding block or something. So it's coming up good, very good. Like I said, it needs to be finished. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit more. So I'll probably play around with that later. I've got to hone the cylinders out. I had a thought about that too. I'm going to run the hone down there a couple of times, and then I'm going to wrap. We'll see if I can manage to wrap one of these Scotch Brights around it, and then hit it with the Scotch Bright and the. Oh yeah, it should go around all right. Put that in, stick the fucking honer in, and then hone. But like I said, I've got to get some shit. I'm going to go back inside now because it's fucking freezing out here. But it's come up quite nice. It's going to look good. I think that is really going to look good. Like this front is a bit of a concern because it's hard to clean up without fucking it up, but if I can get something flat and hit it by hand, probably find that's going to come up a whole lot better. So I might even try that when I get home, and hopefully to warm up out here by about fucking 4 million degrees. It's fucking freezing. Alright, stay tuned, I'll bring you back later on. Peace. Righto, new day. Come outside. Went shopping yesterday and worked out what I'm going to do. I'm going to, not with wet and dry, I'm going to use it wet. I've got several there. I've got 280, 600 and 1500. So I'm going to do it wet because it's going to work a lot better. So I'll get it nice and shiny because the paint is dry. It's dry and it's like all I'm going to do is, when I'm finished, just probably take it out the back and give it a hose, get all the shit off it, and then I can bring it back in, dry it out and do the cylinders. So that's what I'm going to do today. That'll be my chore for the day. Get all that done. And that's going to come up a whole fucking heap better once I sand it with that wet and dry. So you can't use wet and dry. It says it's wet and dry, but use it dry and all it does is clog the fucking thing up, so the water helps flush all the crap out. So I think that'll come up nice, and we're gonna ultimately, when I'm finished, when I do the last lot, when I do the 1500, I'm just going to go in one direction. Just going to go like that. So I mean 1500 is not going to leave any lines, but if you go round and round you'll see the swirls. So I'm just going to do it like that. Same here, I'm going to try and get up in here a little bit better. You can see where it's so close there. I'm going to have to just mask around there. But that'll be easy, just mask it and use a Stanley knife to cut it out and just give it a coat. So yeah, I'll put you in the stand shortly and we'll go from there. Well, that's one side pretty much done, I think, and that comes up quite nice. And that's going to be clear coated too, so yeah, like you can see some very, very minute scratches from the 1500. I mean, if I wanted to go further, I'd go and get some 2000 and 3000 paper, but there's no sense. So all I've got to do is clear coat it, I mean dry it. The only problem is if I take it out to wash it, I might use a damp cloth because that's not making much of a mess. I might wipe it down with a damp cloth because if I hose it, it's going to be too hard to dry everything out again. So it's already fully dry, so I'm not going to bother hosing because look, see that? It comes spotlessly clean. So just be a matter of going around and wiping it all, get the drops of water off from underneath. See that? So that's come up spotless. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I don't want to. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead now and do the rest. There's no sense putting you back in the stand because you know, you've seen it all. And tripod's getting hooked. Fix it off out of the road. So I'm going to do this side next. Well, you can see the difference. I don't know if you can see the difference much on the camera, but you know, look at that side and then this side. Much better. And that was done with 240 grit on the flat, on the disc sander. So, you know, doing 280 with the wet and dry. I mean, wet and dry is always going to look better because it's not high speed, it's only hand sanded. So I'll finish it all off and then I'll bring you back. Stay tuned. Okay, I've gone all around and finished that. That's come up nice. I took off where the edge number was, around the back. So that's come up good. I haven't done in here, but I'm thinking I might leave it. So I think it's going to look probably better the way it is. Either, it's not going to take much to take it out if I need to, so. I might, yeah, I think I will. I'll take it out. Fuck it. I'll do it when I'm doing these. I'll put you up on the shelf somewhere, get the hone out and see how we go clean this up. I'm thinking, I didn't want to use oil, but fuck it, I can use water as a bit of lubricant. I think that'd probably work. So let's do it. Give me a second. Okay, how to think. And water's defeating the purpose. Because it's still gonna send the inside rusty. So what I've done, I started to hone this one, just dry. Hang on, let me get my torch. Where's my torch? Got a fucking good torch here somewhere. So I've just gone around the inside of the top of them to get that lip and to break that paint off because they had paint and my cylinder hone is not all that crash hot, so I had to get that paint out the top. Actually run a bit hard to see, I ran the Scotch-Brite up and down that one too a few times, but I may even have to go and get another one I think because those stones are just about fucked. But we'll see how we go. Stay tuned, I'll bring you back shortly. Alright, I've worked out another way. This is what I'm doing. And it's actually working quite well, so bit of sandpaper in the ball, like that. Stick that in there. Unclip ya. I don't know if you can see that, there's a bit of dust and shit in there, but that's come up really good. So I'm going to go through and finish them off now with the sandpaper. And then I'm going to run the Scotch Brite up and down the same way. So I'll bring you back when I'm about to do Scotch Brite. Stay tuned. Right, I've been through, done them with the sandpaper, done them with the Scotch Brite. I was going to bring you back for that, but you've already seen fucking, but that looks good. It's harder to tell on camera from what I can see on this little screen in the back anyway, but there you go, there's a good shot. Yeah, down the length of it there you can see. Nice and shiny. I mean, there's a couple of imperfections. I managed to get those lips out. They're gone. You know, there's a few imperfections, but you're using a second-hand motor, you know, like, you can't make strawberry jam out of pig shit. It just doesn't work. So, but what we've done is we've cleaned this one up pretty bloody good considering what it looked like originally. So yeah, that's come up quite nice. I think what I might do now is I might mask this and just touch it with the paint and then leave it for the day, and tomorrow I will come out and stand it up and start fitting the bottom to it fully. I know Amit will probably watch this. Mate, you want these left red, or don't worry about that, that's just sawdust. You want these left red, even though they're slightly different, or I can take the paint off. It's no, the powder coating I worked out yesterday. I tested it, and this paint stripper takes powder coating off. So I can remove the powder coat, sandblast them, and then redo these shiny bits, and then clear coat them. So you know, wants it pretty much the same as that picture. And that picture, those rods aren't painted, so I mean, it's no skin off my nose to remove that that powder coating, and that's not going to take long. It's only a short job to do that. So this is nearing completion. I haven't got a phone call yet about the glass. I'm assuming if it's not here today, it'll be here sometime mid next week. I've got to fit these. They've got to be fitted and glued to this. And then I've got to cut the hole for the lights, but that won't be any drama. So I'll do that while it's standing on its end. I mean, once that base is on, and I'll screw the legs on, and it'll be all but done. I've just got to wait for the glass. While I've got it up on its end, I'm going to try put something in here. Well, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I might throw the light in there. Just hang on, let me stick the light in there. Just I want to see how it's going to look. Well, I mean, that's sort of how it looks. It's not going to be exactly the same because it'll have the base and everything on it. I don't think that's going to bleed too much light out of the top. That's all I was worried about. But I think that's going to be fine. Just saves having to root around with it. Yeah, and I worked out I do have some white here. Can't remember where I saw it. I think it's on my bench here somewhere. There we are. So I can paint the underside of that white just to help reflect light up. So, yeah. And night time I think that'll look nice. So we're making big steps. I like it. I like when a plan comes to fruition. And it's looking good too. You know, I must admit that probably the fact that I'm making it for somebody spurs me to do it even better. You know, rather than just make one, finish it, and then try and sell it. If I'm building it for someone, that sort of spurs me on to do it better. Make sure it's, you know, well, you won't get it perfect. Like I said, you can't make strawberry jam out of pig shit. You know, that's a 50-odd-year-old motor. And it's been used and abused, so I think it's come up nice. Yeah, so stay tuned. I might do one more little video when I paint the back of this, and then I'll call it a day while I'm waiting for that paint to dry. Right, I've done that. I've taped it, done it best I can. Without risking fucking the paint up. So that looks alright. That's going to be fine by the time I clear coat it. Put the glass everything on top. This hasn't even got too dirty. Saw some of these and near shit yourself. Fuck, what's wrong with the paint? It's only the dust and shit from where I was sanding the boards out. So I think that'll do me for today. I'm going to let that paint dry, and then I'm going to put a big sheet on here, tip it on its end, so I don't scratch the back. And then start doing the base. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll get a heat done tomorrow. We're going for a ride on Sunday, so down to Gresford, and to the pub and have some lunch at Gresford. So yeah, so I've got a little bit done today. Got all this sanded, top sanded, so coming together nicely. Very nice. So until we meet again, tomorrow's video will probably go up Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, so stay tuned for that. As I said, I didn't do a whole lot, did a little bit yesterday, and I've got video of that, so that'll be joined with this one, which will go up tonight. So it'll go all, I'll upload it this afternoon. It'll usually around 4 o'clock they're usually up and published. So yeah, thanks for hanging out anyway. Stay safe. Peace.